Every time I look over at that Iowa defense and I look at the great plays that they're making and how well they're playing, I can't help but think of the Iowa offense. Great time to subscribe to the channel. Big Ten videos every single day. Always crush that like button. Man, big props to Phil Parker and this Iowa defense. They did things on defense that a lot of teams have not been able to do to Ohio State's offense in a long time. I know Notre Dame played them really tough earlier this season, but what Iowa was able to do in their man-on-man coverage, physical man-on-man coverage, some may say a little bit too physical, but that's what you got to do. You got to be physical against these Ohio State wide receivers, because where Ohio State excels is getting big plays. The game gets out of hand in favor of the Buckeyes when they can bust off 60-yard runs, when they can go over the top to their elite wide receivers for 50, 60-yard touchdowns. You saw late in the game, eventually, Iowa gave up big plays late in this football game because, man, they're so worn down. They're sick of carrying the entire team on their shoulders. Let's get to that. Iowa's offense, I mean, you're beating the same drum every week. You're beating the same drum. Look, Iowa can't do anything on offense. Okay, that's it. It's so hard for me to believe that Brian Ferentz was the offensive coordinator at Iowa when they put up 50-plus points against Ohio State, however many years, 2017, 2018, when that upset happened, the last two teams these got together. And over time, these Iowa offenses, maybe slowly, but these Iowa offenses has deteriorated and gotten worse over time. And here we are. Here we are statistically right at the bottom in all of college football. I feel a little bit bad for Alex Padilla because I believe this move to switch quarterbacks should have been made probably a long time ago, maybe even a couple of games ago. Who knows how many games? It should have been made before halftime of this game on the road in Columbus, Ohio. And Iowa and what they had on their offensive line. I feel when you want to make a move, now, I think they made, at this point in time, living in the present time, yeah, they needed to make a change. They needed to do something different. But man, I feel like this entire coaching staff almost put Alex Padilla in a position to fail. And now you want a new quarterback to go in there. You want him to be able to build some confidence. But man, it's a tough situation. I mean, like I said, I definitely think the move, living in that present time, the move should have been made, and I'm glad they kind of made the change and got away from Spencer Petras because he's been holding this offense down big time. But man, you got to put Alex Padilla in a better situation to gain confidence. This move probably should have been made many games ago leading up to this point, but that's not what happened. That's not what happened. And man, when Alex Padilla entered the game, this Ohio State defense, especially the defensive line, smelled blood and they got after it. Look, it's no surprise that this Ohio State defense and this defensive line dominated the Ohio State offensive line coming into this game. That was a big mismatch on paper, and it definitely played out on the field. This Jim Knowles defense. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say Ohio State is an elite defense because of what they did to the Iowa Hawkeyes. That would be irresponsible of me because of what I just said, because of how good / not good, I should say, how bad, I should say, the Iowa defense is. That being said, this Ohio State defense is building momentum. This Ohio State defense is still very, very good. There's still some holes to fill, and there's still some places to get better, but this Buckeye defense continues to get better. You know, yes, this game early on, I tweeted it reminded me of the Michigan-Penn State game where Ohio State would go down the field, they'd get short fields, they'd get to the red zone, and then that Iowa defense would come up with big stops to kick field goals. Maybe against any other team, most teams in the Big Ten, they might have been able to capitalize. Oh, we're holding Ohio State to field goals. Now we got to go down, we score a touchdown, tie game, or a one-possession game. But when you're playing the Iowa Hawkeyes, they can't take advantage of what their defense puts on the table. They just can't. They don't have that ability on offense for whatever reason. But I do like Ohio State and how they had to battle. A lot of people nationally, notice how I said nationally, not this guy, nationally, said Ohio State hasn't played anybody. We need to see them do something. This Iowa defense is a really good, maybe even an elite defense nationally. And just like in the game against Notre Dame, Ohio State needed to adjust as this game went on, and they knew, okay, if we keep doing what we're doing, and especially if our defense keeps doing what they're doing, we're going to wear down this Iowa defense. We're eventually going to hit big plays over the top. That's exactly what happened. Going to quickly rewind with something I want to mention as it pertains to Iowa's offense. Some of these third down calls early in the first half were head scratchers, to say the least. What do we got to reverse on 3rd and short? Look, you're playing Ohio State. This is a fast team. They recruit speed. You're Iowa. You go north and south. You don't go east and west to try to get a 3rd and short. And then a tight end screen on a 3rd and 9. Look, I know you wanted to get it to Sam Laporta, your main guy, but some of these third down calls, I think I tweeted it during the Illinois game for Brian Ferentz. You scratch your head. Something's got to happen. Okay, I know it's tough, but sometimes as a dad, you got to do what you got to do. I'll just leave it at that. But I like how Ohio State battled through adversity, because they're going to need to do that. And I want to see how they react. And they kept on going. They kept on chopping, to use a phrase from another Big Ten team. And they finally were able to hit the big plays as this game went on. I want to see them run the ball better, though. Okay, that's kind of one area where I thought that I wanted to see them go in, be physical, go right at Iowa's defense. But you got to give credit to the Hawkeyes. They were able to match up against this good Ohio State offensive line. Got to get better running the football, Ohio State. We know you can throw the ball. We know you've got the best wide receivers in the country. Got to be more physical in the running game. I want to know what you guys think of this matchup. Is this the test that Ohio State needed to prove to you that they are an elite team? Iowa, where do we go from here? Is this an Iowa team that can make a bowl game? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to Big Ten Ted. I'm Big Ten Ted, and we'll see you in the next one.